So hello everyone, welcome to all of you on YouTube channel. So today we are starting the new subject, that is a software engineering. So we'll start the chapter number 1, software and the software engineering. So before moving towards the chapters and before moving towards a detail into the content, I would like to introduce all about the subject, what exactly the subject is about and what exactly the subject is, why you need to learn the particular thing and what are the content of the subject. Okay, so as I generally when I teach to any students, I generally tell them to ask to have the two questions in your mind. Let's say if you are studying any topic, any subject, you should ask the two questions from your mind. That's the what the particular thing is and the why the particular thing is required. The similar things happens here also. The what software exactly is and why software exactly requires. Okay, so this software, like what software engineering is and why software engineering is required. Okay, so to explain it more in detail, I would like to take some of the example. Let's say you will be studying in some of your colleges in some of the semesters. You will also doing the coding and different technologies like C, C++, Java, .NET, and all that. So if I ask you a question, let's say what is a software in terms of you? What exactly the software in terms of you? So you will be uh, giving me the answer like software is a set of instructions developed in different language like C, C++, Java, and all that. Okay, so if I ask you the question what exactly the software engineering is, okay, so you will be stuck for some time. Yes, software is to write a line of code. Then what does it mean by software engineering? Okay, so that is the thing we have to understand. Okay, so if you have visited, if you have go to any IT company, if you go into the detail, like how they are like exactly the making the softwares. So in terms of you, the software for you, the term software means writing a line of code only. But in terms of any organization, in terms of any well defined IT organization, software is does not only to write a line of code. Software does not only to write a line of code. Software is making a software does not only mean the writing a line of code for the any organization. For making a software is a big process which encompasses the different phases. So the writing the code, like the writing the line of code, that is one of the phase of the software process. So making the software is a process. It's not only doing the coding. The coding is a one part of making the software, right? So this is the main fundamental. We have to study all these processes followed to make a really successful software that is adaptable, that is used by so many users. Of course, you are making any software that will be used by the any number of users. Okay, so this is the main heart of the subject, to understanding the different processes, So if I give if I give the example, let's say if any IT industry who are those are developing the softwares, they will get the requirement from the client from India and the abroad. So it is not like that they directly jump onto the coding. There are certain phases. There are certain risks have to be identified. There are certain technologies to be identified. There are certain resources to be identified. There are some cost and all that. There are so many things that has to be identified before making the softwares, before making the directly jump into the coding. So there are pre-coding activities and there are post-coding activities available in the software process. There are different methodologies to creating the software, what to do before creating the software and what to do after creating the software. So these are the things we will see into the subject. Also how to estimate a particular software, what will be the cost of the software, what are the different phases of the software. So this is the thing we have to see in this subject. Okay, so I hope you all of you now have now the brief about the subject, what exactly the subject is going to be. Yes, it is a theoretical subject, but I will try my best. I will map the each and every term with the real-time industry, with the real-time software making process, so that will make this some subject. Yes, it is a theoretical, but the most interesting subject you will study. Okay, so let's move towards the next topic. So let's move to the next topic. I hope you are more clear about what we will be studying in this subject. Okay, so now there are the certain terms we have to understand about the software. So different. So let's go into the terms one by one. Okay, so exactly how we can define a software, how we can define. Yes, of course we can say that a software is a line of code, software is a set of instruction. If you go into the Google, if you search, there are so many definition of the software. You can define any of them, but in short, if I would like to tell you, a software we can say that a product. Yes, of course we can say that a product, and a vehicle, also a vehicle for delivering a product. Okay, I think this is somewhat tricky part to explain. Software we can define as a product as well as a vehicle for delivering that product. Okay, so how exactly the product? Yes, if we are creating any software, it does mean we are creating the product, but in between, like when we are creating a product, we are also creating some uh, uh, positive impacts of that product also. Let's say there is a vehicle that is used to deliver the product. Similar in the case of once you are creating a software, that software will support directly or indirectly the different types of system functionality. It controls the other programs of the operating system. It affects the better communication, right? Of course it also helps to build another software. So once you create a software, it ultimately helps the other to the in the different other things. So in the general term, we can define a software as a product as well as a vehicle for delivering the product. This is a simple things. Okay. So next thing is that generally when we go into this is about the software. Yes, the software is about like creating. Software is about creating, let's say, a line of code in different technology. But when we go into the software engineering, let me give you the example. If one clients come to you that is telling you, I want to make a ERP system. If I want to make a ERP system, okay, you will say that okay, I will make a ERP system for you in this particular type of technologies. Okay, but there are some questions from the previous time and also the current times are going on when you are going to make a software. So what are the question? Okay, the first question would be, why does it take so long to get the finished software? Okay, of course we are a developer only know. Let's say if you create any simple sorting program, it will take a time. When you are creating a big number of any software, it will include so much of complexity, so much of modules, so much of dependency. It will take a time. So the question number one, how much it will take a time and why it is taking the time. Okay, and of course as we know, the software development is a very much demanding job into the market, and very much high paying job into the market, because it uses your brain, and it takes a time, and it takes the different cost to be implemented on that. So the next question the generally client asks, that how much time the software will take to be developed, and the next would be why the particular cost is so much high. Okay, the next question, why can't we find all errors before we give the software to our customers? So this is the main question. Why, let's say if you are creating a software, when you are creating a software, yeah, of course you will find the errors, you will solve the errors. Once you solve the errors, once you are done with your errors, when you will give your developed software to your client, there are more than 90% of chances that you will get the errors again. Yes, once you solve all the errors, still you will get the error. Let me give you the example. Even when the Facebook and the WhatsApp or the Instagram launches the new features, new updates available, it might be possibility that after so many times there is successful application developed, still they get the bug, still they get the errors, and these errors are posted onto the comments on the application section. Okay, so this is the possibility of that, and why the particular thing is, why exactly. So we cannot say that you have developed that software, you have solved all the errors, right? You are creating a software. When you go into the market, when the number of users uses 50 number of users, 100 number of users, yes, there's the errors will going to come, because they are ultimately the users, ultimately the testers. Yes. Okay, the next question is, why do we spend so much time and effort maintaining existing program? So this is another thing. This is not only once you have developed the software. This is not the only thing once you have developed the software. You need a maintenance. Let's say once you have developed the software, if it in any case some errors, some problems, some, let's say, more than there are so many number of users are using the software, and your software is like chopped up, so you have to be provide the maintenance and support after developing a system, not for the small time, not for maybe for the bigger amount of time, until and unless that software is on the stable stage. So to be in a stable stage will take a time. The next question would be, why do we continue to have difficulty in measuring a progress as software is being developed and the maintained? Okay, yes, of course. When the software is developed, once the particular software is developed, we can define a time that in this amount of time the software will be delivered. But how much long it will take, the time maintenance, we cannot define that. It completely depends on the number of errors and the number of how robust your software architecture and how robust the development is. Once all the errors and all the bugs are solved, after a certain amount of time your software will be on the stable stage and it might not require the maintenance. So these are the basic questions when you are going to develop any softwares. Your client or you might be having this amount of questions on your mind. So this is about us. So let's move towards the next topic. So this was about the questions generally you will be having while creating a software. Okay, so let's move towards the next topic, that is, let's say if I want to define any fixed amount of any fixed definition for the softwares, we can say that software is a computer programs. Yes, of course, the set of instructions, we can say that when executed provide a desired features, function, and the performance. This is a one we can define the softwares. The data structures that enable the program to adequately manipulate the information. Yes, data structures are nothing but the storage we can deal with creating a softwares. Also, we can say the documents that describe the operation and use of the programs. Yes, there are so many definitions available, but in simple terms we can say that the software is a set of instructions, or we can say the computer programs that when executed provide the desired features, functions, and the performance. Okay, so this is yes, we know that. So let's go to the next, when compare about the software and the hardware. Okay, so in the small term we can say that hardware is manufactured, but the software is not a manufactured. It's not any hard thing. Software is always going to be engineered. Okay, so software is not any hard thing. Software is going to be engineered. Okay, the next important thing is that let's say if you are creating, yes, of course, hardware is touchable. We can touch that, while the software we cannot touch that. It's not a physical thing. It's a logical thing. Okay, but while in the case of hardware, when we talk about the hardware, when you are creating a hardware, you are manufacturing the hardware, you need a different hard components. Okay, you are creating it. When you are creating it, you will try and error to do. Let's say if you are making a PC, you will combine all the different modules like motherboard and the fan and the processor and all that, like you are combining that. It might be possible in start you are not able to complete the system. You will need a trial and error. So in the initial time, that failure rate is there. When you are developing a hardware, on the initial time there is a failure rate. Okay, like once you develop a system, let's say once you are developed a system, once the system is up and running, when you have created a CPU or a computer, and once this computer is connected and all the devices are working fine, when you work on that, after certain amounts of time, it goes smooth. It goes smooth. Okay, but after certain amount of time, there are different physical parameters, and the other parameters does affect the hardware. There are physical and there are different parameters that affect hardware. Let's say if you are using that, if you have that made that PC, and if you are using it too much and you are not setting in AC, yes, temperature might affect the performance of the PC. Okay, some dust are coming into a PC, that will choke up your cooling fan. So your motherboard that should be cooled up, that is not doing work. So ultimately your performance of your system is not going to be good. It might be possible some viruses come into your system and it will like block your system up. You might need to format your system. Okay, so it might be possible after certain amount of time your battery is gone down, you have to purchase a new battery. There are so much amount of parameters, there are so much amount of different types of things that affects the hardware, that affects the hardware. We can define that. We are just taking the real-time example, is we are the computer IT, we are going to be computer IT engineers. I have taken the example of the computers. Okay, so after certain amount of time, we can say that so once you will like fully use it, after certain amount of time, 5 or 6 years, that particular hardware is like old out, right? It has been affected by the viruses and the dust and all the things. Also the technology is also, the processor is also you were using the dual core, now it is using a Core i3. Now softwares are very much heavy loaded. The dual core processor cannot handle that. So you will need a new processor, you will need a new high cooling system, you will need a new SSD type system rather than a hard drive. So these are the factors that should be updated in the case of hardware. So after a certain amount of time, that hardware should be wear out. So it will be of no use. Okay, so it will be of no use. You can compare that hardware as your previous PC and the current PC, previous type laptops and the current trending market laptops running into the market. Okay, so this is the first example of the hardware. So in the case of hardware, it is the manufacturer, it is the hard thing, we can touch that. So it is manufactured. Okay, so at the initial time, when you are manufacturing, when you are creating a hardware, so it might take the failures when you build it up. But once you build it up, once it is running fine, it will go smoothly on for a certain amount of period. I don't know, it's a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year. It depends on the hardware, type of hardware you are creating. Okay, it will be running for the certain amount of time. But after the certain amount of time, it will be like a wear out. As I said, the different, also the hardware will be affected by the different parameters. Like in our case in the PC, we talked about the dust and the temperature and the cooling and all this thing, right? So this was all about the hardware. While when we talk about the software is not manufactured, software is engineered. So what is the difference between, see, software is not a physical thing, so it is not manufactured in the factory. It is a computer program, it is a manufactured, it uses a creativity of mind to be developed in some systems. So we can say that the software is engineered. Okay, so again, in the case of software, let's say if you are creating a software if I can say that we are creating a software of any ERP or any library management system. So at initial time, you might find that when you are creating a software, you might feel the difficulties. It will be difficult to combine all the different types of modules of library. Okay, so at the initial time, again, when you add more and more features, it might be possible that you will get the more number of errors, more number of because there is a more number of complexity. Let's say, if I will give you the example, if you are creating a program of sorting a number from single dimensional array. Okay, so it will be much more easier if you are dealing with a single dimensional array. Let's say not as sorting, but if you are finding any minimum value from the single dimensional array, it will be so much simple. But when you deal with the two dimensional array, it will be somewhat difficult. When you deal with the three dimensional, four dimensional, five dimensional, and the n dimensional, so ultimately when you are creating the software, the more modules will be added, more functionality will be added, more features will be added. It get complex. Once the complexity increase, it surely get the errors. The error will be resolved by the developers. Once that all the errors will be resolved by the developers, at the initial test, yes, failure rate is there when the software is going to be developed. At the initial stage, when the software is going to be developed, there is the rate of failure. But once all the complexity are resolved, once all the modules are developed, once all the errors are completed or the resolved by the developer, uh, the software runs smoothly. The software runs smoothly. Okay, so this was about the software. So this was about the software. So after the development, after all the complexity have been solved, so it will run smoothly. It will run the smoothly. So there is not any case of like it will be around. But if any change applied, so but any change comes to any software. Let's say when you have completed all the software, all the library management system is fully completed. But let's say after certain amount of time software is running, when librarian comes to you and he is saying that I want one more feature in the software, then the failure rate will increase. Then the problem arises, because ultimately once you add anything, it will affect whole your system. You have to manage all the system again. You will get the more and more number of errors. You have to solve, you have to have solved all this error available in there. Okay, so once your software is done, it's all the complexity are done, it will go smoothly. But when any change applies to any software, yes, the failure rate will going to increase. Again, it will run smoothly. Once again, if any change will come in there, the failure rate might increase. Again, if you take the recent example of let's say a Zoom application. Zoom application was running successfully, but the one feature, the security feature, was that missing. That is why it was being hacked. The failure rate increased for the Zoom. Once that particular patch has been found from the Zoom, the security patch, now it's running smoothly now again with the security or all the security features added. So if we look into the hardware and the software in the terms of chart, so this is called as the bathtub curve for the hardware. Bathtub curve for the hardware. You can see onto the chart. On the y-axis there is a failure rate, and on the x-axis there is a time available. So on the initial time when you are developing a hardware, when you are manufacturing the hardware, yes, there will be the failure rate over there, but that is called as the infant mortality. Infant, when infant means when it's infant like a newborn baby. Okay, so in the same case, when you are developing a hardware, it will be like infant, so infant mortality. So in the initial stage, hardware might get the failures, but once it is manufactured, once it runs successfully, over the time there will be no any problem. But after certain amount of time, certain amount of time, it possible that hardware, yes, it is not possible because of the new technology coming. There are different parameters we have talked about, like the dust, temperature, and the technology change, and all the things does affects the hardware. So After certain amount of time, it is just it is happening that your hardware will be like wearing out, it will be of no use. We have taken example of the PC, like in the you have developed the PC of the core 2D processor, you have done all the things, it will run smoothly for the certain amount of time. Just for that particular certain amount of time, it might be possible your keyboard, because the heavy usage, the keyboard might not work because of the heating issue, because you are not using under the AC, and all this thing will affect the hardware. Okay, so the after yes, exactly, in the terms of computer, after the technology is changing again and again in the quick time, so the technology change after a certain amount of time, that will be wear out. Of course, we are not using the dual core and the core to dual processor nowadays. We are using i3, i5, and i7, and after the 5 years, we'll be using another thing. So in the case of hardware, it will be wear out. So this curve is called as a bathtub curve. The bathtub curve, because the shape is like a bathtub. Okay. I hope you get the point. You have understood this bathtub curve. Okay. So let's move towards the next. Let's see the failure curve, like failure curve for the software. Failure curve for the software. Okay. So in the case of software, as we have just I'm pointing the I'm showing the ideal curve. So this is the ideal curve that should be, but that it is not. Idealized curve means we are expecting this curve. See, there is always a difference between the expectation and the reality. In life also we can say that there's a difference between the expectation and reality. In the similar case, this is the idealized curve. We are expecting software curve to be like this. This is a bold curve, that is the idealized curve. What does it mean? In the initial stage, when you are creating any software, any software, yes, it might fail, it might face the failure. As I told you, when you are creating a software, when you are creating a small module, you will get the smaller error. When you are going into the deeper, when you add the more modules, it will become more complex, it will get the more errors on that once. So at the initial time, the failure rate is more in the case of software. Yes, on the case of hardware too. But once you develop the software, when you completed all the modules, once you solved all this complexity, it will run smoothly. See, it will run smoothly. So see, but what about the wear out? Does the software wear out? No, software does not wear out. It is updated. Software never going to be wear out. It is updated with the technology. It is updated with the technology. Okay, but this is idealized curve. This is not happening. Yes, always failure is over there. This is exactly the software curve is. This exactly the software curve is. So what happens? Initially it is a failure. Once it is running smoothly, but if any change comes to that, that's as I told you the example, any librarian comes to it, if he wants a change to the software, yes, chances of failure, chances of errors will be there. Once this error will be solved, it will run smoothly. Again any change, again chances of failure, again any change, again chances of failure. At certain amount of time, there will be a more number of changes, the more number of failures will be there. Okay, so this is the scenario. This is a scenario for the hardware and the software curve. In the case of both in the case of hardware and the software, at the initial stage and the development stage, it will get the failures. But okay, but after certain amount of time, hardware will be wear out. It will be like it will not going to be used because of the parameters are affecting to the hardware. While in the case of software at initial stage will fail the failure, runs successfully smoothly on certain period of time, but after certain amount of time it will not wear out. Changes is there, changes can be updated. Let me give you the example. If you have developed your ERP with the PHP, now let's say, or not the PHP, you have developed it with a Pascal language. Now Pascal is not running. You can change the technology. The whole software will not be wasted. The logic will not be wasted. The logic of creating a module will not be wasted. You have to shift from the Pascal to Java, then Java to Python, and the Node.js and all that. Okay, so this was about the difference between the software and the hardware. Okay, so soft hardware is manufactured while the software is engineered. Hardware does wear out, software does not wear out. You can show the bathtub curve for the software and the hardware in the exam if you can be asked. Okay, so this was about the first lecture about the introduction of the software engineering, why software required, why software engineering required, what exactly the software engineering covers, difference, what are the questions when you develop the software, what is the difference between hardware and the software. Okay, and the software curve, failure curve, and the hardware failure curve, that is called the bathtub curve. So this is up for the lecture. We'll meet again to the next lecture. Okay, thank you very much.